Hello, everybody. Welcome into my channel. My name is Roxanne, and this is Alchemy of Acrimony, and these are my friends. Yeah, these are actually I love cute little stuffed dolls like that. I have a few of them. They're really cute, and I have a thing with the Dia de los Muertos, the whole aesthetic and the vibe, and I love it. So I wanted to introduce them to you guys. I love just the whole that look. I'm pretty sure you all know that because you see the stuff that I post. And so, like on my thumbnails and the pictures that I create. And so, that is my culture, that is my background. So, I am Mexican. So, yeah, I love it, love it, love it. So, I just wanted to, oh, and that's my, where is it at? That's my orange chrome mask. One day you will see me with this on, and I'll do a read with this mask on. That way, still not getting my whole face, but you're getting this face, and that's an adorable face. That's a cute face right there. So if you want to look at that for a whole read, yeah, in the comments down below, just let me know if you want to see a good old scary pumpkin jack there. And yeah, I'll light up the whole video with that mask, and we'll do a whole reading with that. That's definitely going to happen. Morning coffee. I think yeah, so if you notice my thumbnail, I am teasing you guys. That was just a bit of a teaser. It was the whole, one-eye thing. So just a little glimpse of what I look like, but who even cares what I look like? The point is just being here with you guys, and then the content that I create, and what I give to you guys, what my my gifts that I share with the world, right? That's what it's really about. And so if you want, okay, so yeah, so for those of you that know, I have my morning coffee with Jack. Jack actually is a clean cup today. So before in the past, if you don't see him, it's because he's not clean. I didn't clean his cup, but he's my favorite mug. And so here we go. Stay wild, people. Stay wild. So I absolutely love this shirt. Look at the beautiful bird on here and the imagery. So as you all know, I'm a big fan of t-shirts. I have all kinds of t-shirts. T-shirts, man, a way to my heart is through t-shirts. I'm really simple. I'm a pretty simple girl. Yeah, don't need much. Just give me some coffee, a t-shirt, some beer, and some tacos, and I'm good. Yeah, so yesterday, well, the past 2 days, the Virgo read, the read that I had did prior to this video, that was crazy. I actually originally titled that video, the last video, I titled it I think morning coffee or chat or just a quick hello. I don't know, something like that. So I really felt led to, with the Virgo read, I wanted to change the title and put it into like a toxic, love read, because it was like it wasn't a good love read. But anywho, that was what ended up coming out in the Virgo reading. Like I, if you guys know, then the stuff that I put out, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Everything, if I do change a title and you notice it's different from the beginning, and then I go in and change it after, it's because I'm led or drawn to do that, because so people could get the gist of, okay, this is about, was the love read. Sometimes I change it, sometimes I don't. Today, who knows, I might go in and change this title, right? I think I put I see you and with an emoji, but I don't know. Who knows? It might change after the read's over. Let's see where it takes us, where spirit guides us and leads us, what messages they want you to know. If I feel led to change the title, I will. So if you see it change at any point, then that's what happened. But yeah, anywho, just wanted to jump on real quick. Today is actually my last day of work. I got a short work week and I'm happy. Hell yeah. I'm super ecstatic. I am definitely for sure. Well, you know what? I don't want to put the for sure on it, because my emotions and the way I feel throughout my day change. So, what I do plan on doing and what I would really love to do is jump on here again later on tonight. Right now, where I'm at, it's 10:53 in the morning. So, yeah. Usually that's my time. I try to jump on here before I have to go to work, and then if I have the energy and the strength, I come on again after I get off work. So, yeah, so this morning I woke up and I was pretty excited to get on here, and I know I owe the Libra read. I know that I do. So I actually started getting channeled messages that were pretty intriguing. They were pretty unique. They were pretty awesome because I actually learned some stuff from your guys' read that interested me, and I actually learned some stuff I did not know. And I know that sounds crazy. You're probably like, what the hell are you talking about? How you if you're channeling, how are you not knowing what you're channeling? Well, because whatever download I get, I don't know what spirit's going to give me. And so a lot of times it just doesn't sit, I can't just sit with something and not know what it is that I'm saying or talking about. A lot of times there's deeper meaning, or you have to dig a little deeper. Spirit loves to do that, sends me on a um I don't know, I guess that type of journey to really gain some type of knowledge or information on what it is they're telling me. And so I really love that. I love the way my spirit guides work with me. And like I said, it brought me back to some pretty interesting things. And so just fun fact for Libra out there, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, um, Libra has me doing some research. So I don't know if any of you out there are into Greek gods and goddesses. So that was one of the main channels that I got for the Libra reading. And so this isn't the Libra reading, but that's just a little golden nugget into what we're going to be talking about when I decide to jump into that read, whenever spirit guides me to do that. But that's just a little tidbit, like into like a peek, kind of like my thumbnail, right? Just a peek into what that all looks like for Libra and what I'm going to be talking about. Greeks, gods, goddesses. I don't know if any of you have heritage, like your culture, you're from Greece, or you have a background, or you like to work with the gods and goddesses, like you're familiar with them. I know some people work with different goddesses. Um I love Lilith. Lilith is a different type of goddess. She is in some cultures named in different things, depending on the story that you're going to look into about her. You could take it all the way back to her just being a spirit of air before uh, man before anything was created. She was just one of the entities drifting around here on our beautiful earth. And you can also look at her as the first wife of Adam. And I know in Jewish culture, they, as time went on, she went from a goddess to actually demonic entity. But I do not believe she is a demonic entity at all. I believe that over time, uh, people's downfalls and their whatever they were having issues with, they used her as a scapegoat to place blame on her for a lot of different things. And if you don't know anything about Lilith, go ahead and look it up. Like I said, whatever I say on here, feel free to look it up yourself, and then you can kind of dig into that one yourself. And everybody has their own personal opinion, but she's the epitome of autonomy, and she was beautiful. She's about strength and sovereignty and transformation. And that's the things that I take from her and I carry with me. And so she is a great inspiration for me. A piece of my artwork is actually dedicated to her. I actually have a piece of her tatted on me. And so my tattoo has very significant meaning. So, anywho, yeah, Greeks, goddesses, taking it back to that. And Zeus and his 9 daughters, I believe he had 9, and they were all muses. Oh, I'm giving you guys way too much. So anywho, in the Oracle deck, which is the Mystic Rose, that's how I channeled this stuff. The Muse, there's a Muse card in here, and if you don't know what Muse means, look it up. And Muse is like a person or some type of inspiration that you get through different things. You can have a muse for, like, Zeus's 9 daughters were muses for 9 different things. If you want to, feel free to look that up as well. Very intriguing, very interesting. And that is actually, digging a little deeper, learning more about that. Something really caught my eye when it came to researching that. And so I said, this is for my Libra read. Um, I'm not finished decoding that message yet. I actually feel like I still need to sit with it and pray about it and just really go a little bit deeper. And so if you want, stay tuned for that read, that Libra reading. I might, whenever I'm led, it could be tonight, it could be tomorrow, it could be the day after, a week later, I don't know. But whenever, like I said, spirit guides me and calls me and leads me to I'm looking at my box here with my vintage tarot. Okay, so my vintage, where is it at? Yeah, and so this is my box, and I keep my beautiful vintage tarot in here. Okay, splitting the deck, we have the Tower and the Nine of Pentacles. She was actually made, she made her presentation and the read that I did prior. She was actually in that read. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess we're just jumping right into the tarot, right? Oh, that's weird. Now it's faced in the opposite direction. Four of Swords, stagnancy. I was feeling led to talk about that prior to even doing this read. I don't know why. Oh, I do know why. I take that back. Stagnancy has been with me while I've been channeling the Libra reading. And so, fun fact, just another little tidbit into what Libras read. There is meaning behind this card. I don't know. I don't know if Spirit's speaking to me like just give the Libra reading now. Maybe so. That's communication, and that's fast incoming messages about stagnation. Uh-oh. This might be the Libra reading. I just love when Spirit does that. Spirit's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. It's not tonight. It's not tomorrow. It's not next week. Stop lying. No, you're not. I don't know. I guess so. Okay, so and splitting the deck. I don't know. This is just speaking volumes right now. And so whatever Spirit says, I do. And so this is the way it's going to go. All right. So maybe this is going to be the Libra reading. Yeah. Maybe this is going to be the Libra reading. Okay. So I have to get prepared for that because I wasn't prepared for that. But this card is something that I actually channeled in my mind's eye. And then because the word stagnation, and then I seen this in my mind's eye. And then as I was channeling message, that's kind of how I made my 1101 as I'm talking. So I see 111, 111, 11, 11, 11 is my go from green light from the universe to go. That's a sign for me. I personally hold that near and dear to my heart. So yeah, Spirit is speaking volumes right now, and they're saying Libra read. So I'm gonna have to go back in, you guys, and change the title to this read. So if you see right now you're looking at I see you, morning coffee, chat, tarot. It's funny that I even put tarot because I didn't know if I was really gonna go with that, but I was just my little fingers typed it out. Hey, I guess because yes, it was going to be tarot. And it's funny because that's how I started off this read. I didn't know I was going to do that. My hands were just drawn to my tarot deck. Okay, so I have to personally get in here in my phone and I have to look at some stuff, and I'm going to lay it right here. Okay, so if you see me picking this way, it's because my phone's right here. And so I need to get into these channeled messages for you. So my dear Libras, surprise, this is your read. Okay, so if you're here, you're catching it live. Awesome. But whatever time, space, or place you catch the Libra read, it is meant for you. That's the way Spirit designed it. So it doesn't even matter, right? The point is the message is getting out there to whoever needs to hear it when they need to hear it. All right, so here we go. Channeled messages for Libra. Okay, feeling stuck. Number one, this card, feeling stuck. Okay, so the reason that I channeled that is because my personal feelings for the past few days, ever since I've said I was going to do the Libra read, I could not even get an image of my mind of your symbol, your astrological symbol of, the little shoe with the line underneath it. That's your, and then even, like seeing the scales, right? Justice, balance, the, I can't even say the card now, temperance. I just couldn't see anything in my mind when it came to Libra. And I'm like, why? I wasn't getting any downloads. I wasn't getting any messages. I kind of felt distant from spirit. Like I just wasn't feeling anything. There was no vibe to it there. And so I really felt like after a few days of feeling like this, I was like, wait a minute. There's a reason why spirit's making me feel stuck, blocked, stagnant. It's because I'm picking up on the energy for my Libras. So I don't know if some of you out there, for whoever this resonates for, are feeling that in your personal life. Maybe you have some type of blockage. There's some type of stagnancy. It's uninspired. Okay, uninspired. I don't know if any of you out there are feeling uninspired right now. You have little to no motivation. And so maybe this is why I couldn't pick anything up. And I kept saying, I know I need to do your read. And, but whenever spirit calls, it's because really I wasn't feeling anything. And I'm like, why? Why? Like there was nothing there, no motivation for the read. No, I couldn't see anything. And I was getting kind of worried. Like, am I even supposed to go on with the astrological signs and do the reads and finish? Maybe spirit's guiding me to stop at Virgo and that's it. Don't do the rest. But then I thought, no, why would that be? So I was just questioning everything. I was having like all kinds of arguments in my mind going back and forth. Like, what? Yes, no, yes, no. Yeah, so feeling stuck, uninspired, stagnant energy, blockages, mental blockages, writer's block. I don't know if any of you out there are writers. Um, yeah, having that's what I felt like if I was a writer, and you know how like Sex in the City, how Carrie has that writer's block sometimes because she's a writer and sometimes she can't get on board with like, or even in general, just like you hear that there's a thing called writer's blocks. I don't know if any of you out there you write stories, or you like to, or you write books. I don't know if any of you are authors. Um, if you are, that's really cool. Send me a comment, a little emoji, just kind of shout yourself out. That'd be really cool to see in the comment section for this read. But yeah, I was picking that up, feeling the need to tell you that there's I guess right now you were in this energy, right? But the point is of why I'm channeling it is because I feel spirit is guiding me to tell you, okay, that right now is a time to get inspired. You're gonna get that feeling of inspiration back. So if you are feeling stuck or stagnant or having any type of mental blockages, writer's block, whatever that block looks like for you, I feel like, and I'm here, there goes my nose. So if you hear me doing that, sorry. So yeah, if you start to feel or if you feel that spirit's letting you know you're going to be coming out of this Four of Swords, it's just a need to get inspired. Like you got to find that inspiration through doing other things, okay? Taking a step back and looking outside the box. So wherever you've been looking, spirit's saying got to go somewhere else. Look outside the box. You got to dig a little deeper, take a little time. Okay? So then that's when I picked up Muse. I seen that in my mind's eye, and that is in the Mystic Rose Oracle deck. There is a card in here. It's the Muse card, and the Muse is about it's something that something or someone that provides inspiration. Okay, and so hold on one quick sec. I really need I'm feeling really led and drawn to, because I'm splitting the deck and I'm seeing some stuff from from the last read, and I don't want anything to. I do clear and clean my cards all the time, but I'm feeling led to Palo Santo my cards here, because I don't want anything coming out that shouldn't be for the Libra read, because I feel the Libra read is in a total different direction. And as far as what I'm feeling now, I feel like that's what it is. There may be love that comes out later on for you, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what's going to pop out. I really don't. Please clear the cards. Any past energy, please clear my cards. Please. Thank you so much, Spirit. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, let's look to see. If it doesn't come out, if the Muse card doesn't come out, I will show it to you later. But this whole point is about blocked energy, stuck stagnancy, mental blockages, however that looks like for my Libras, if you guys are feeling that out there. If you're feeling any type of stuck energy and you're like, you need to maybe create a project or do something, and you really can't because you're feeling uninspired. And I know what that feels like, because I like to draw. I'm an artist, and maybe I'm speaking to some of you out there that are artists or create in any type of way, shape, or form that looks like for you. But if you do, I know sometimes getting that mental blockage or not having the inspiration or the energy, or feeling stuck, like you don't know what to draw, you don't know what to write, you don't know what to create, you don't, and so these two came out in the reverse, moving and pursuit. So that tells me you're not moving. There's no movement. No movement. Okay? For it coming out in the reverse, yes, it's just doubling down confirmation. There's no movement here. So there's some type of movement that needs to happen, that needs to take place. Okay? So Spirit's really saying, if it means, okay, so pursuit, you're not pursuing anything either. So whatever this looks like for you, whatever you're creating, whatever your projects are, whatever you have going on for yourself right now, you got to start moving. Pursuit, start taking action, put one foot in front of the other. Procrastination, I'm seeing the word procrastination right now in my mind's eye. It's like that, just that stuck, stagnant energy. You really just can't, you don't know what to do. You're not feeling led or drawn to even move. There's a lot of blockage here, okay? And so persistence, hunting down, resilient. It's like you don't want to get into that persistency of finding your muse, which is your inspiration, okay? Empty shell. So moving is boxed up environment change, empty shell. Maybe you guys need an environment change. Maybe you need to get out into the environment a little bit more, and there's there in nature or the environment, you're a different type of environment, you're going to find your muse. Okay? The owl represents wisdom. There's an owl in this card, so you got to gain some type of insight, wisdom. I don't know, however you find your inspiration. I know with me, I work with a certain tarot deck. I've mentioned this before in prior videos. This tarot deck inspires me to create, and this is when I draw and create art. And I find inspiration in different things. My muse is in certain colors or looks, or just the energy and the vibration it gives me by seeing something that draws out the inspiration in me to create. Even when I'm angry, even if you have your muse is anger. Okay, so bringing it back to another. Okay, so I'm saying that because Spirit is saying you need to talk to them about the channeled message that you received about muse and anger. Okay. And so this leads into I don't know if any of you know about gods and goddesses, Greek mythology. So here we go, we're going to jump into that. Okay. Okay, so 211, I don't know, 211 is the angel number that I received. So if you want, go ahead and look that up. I don't know what that means, but 211 was also a download that I received. Greek and Greece, I don't know if anybody has that heritage, that culture, or loves the culture, or if you're from there or have family from there or associated with Greece, speaking the language. I don't know. Take it how it all resonates. Or you're just into the culture in general. Maybe you're not from there, but you're into the gods and the goddesses, right? Ancient Greek mythology. I am. I had a book Um, and it's a shame because that book that I had got, I had accidentally threw it out. And so I was cleaning out my room, and I don't know how it ended up getting in the mix of getting thrown out. And I was really pissed off at myself for doing that. But I don't know. I guess that's just when you're working way too fast and you're not really paying attention, right? So yeah. Um, Actually, I need to go and get order another book, because I really, really, it was very intriguing and interesting, the stuff that I was learning from that book. Okay, so it was a book that I had picked up at Barnes and Noble. So anyway, gods or goddesses. So I picked up and channeled the nine daughters of Zeus. Okay, and out of the nine daughters, each was a muse. Okay, fun fact. I didn't know this. This is all okay. So if you don't know, and well, then we're learning together, right? And if you do know, maybe you could elaborate more and put it down in the comments. Maybe continue on in that, and maybe give what you know about this. That'd be cool. I'd love to read that. Okay, so nine daughters of Zeus, and Melpomene was a muse of tragedy. And so taking it back to what I said about how I create, and sometimes I use my anger as a muse to create part of my tragedy. Okay. And so tragedy can look like many different things in many different forms, right? It could be death. It could be, grief. It could sorrow, anger, um, tragedy in general, whatever that looks like for you, some type of loss. Okay. And so Melpomene was one of the daughters of Zeus. But if you look her up and want to dive into her, maybe I'm telling you this because she's going to be your inspiration. She may be your muse for your project if you're looking for inspiration, if you're looking for to get rid of that block, to create some type of clarity for yourself, get rid of the stuck stagnant energy where you just writer's block, creative block, artist block, whatever that is. And so if you're seeking that right now at this time, look into Melpomene. I believe that's her name. I think I'm saying her name right, because some of the names of the daughters of Zeus were woof when pronouncing them. You're looking at it right on in front of you, and you want to pronounce it one way, but it completely sounds a little bit different when you're pronouncing it. Like it comes out different. So hopefully I'm saying her name right, but it's a Malpolmene. So Melpomene, muse of tragedy. Okay, she was one of the nine daughters of Zeus. And so with that, I got Greek philosophy. Maybe you need to look into some type of, Greek philosophy. They have a lot of really cool, wise um key points for life and the way to look at things in life. They were really big philosophers. Really, they were the mostly the inventors of everything that we see, right? They were like the way we speak and the language. And when you break down Greek words and it comes from the Latin of this or that, or I don't know. Like, if you really want to dig into that, feel free, because I kind of feel like I was led and guided to tell some of you that forever whoever this resonates for, Greek philosophy. And so it brought me to the high priestess, because when I was researching this stuff, I found it very interesting that back in this period, in this time of, right, Zeus's nine daughters being a muse, the way people gained their wisdom and their knowledge was through high priestesses and the oracle. Okay, that's what they called it. Today, modern version of it, we use oracle decks, right? Oracles to give addition, they give information, right? They hit on specific key points. They're the voice of God back in that time, right? With where the gods, goddesses, people actually went to seek these oracle women. There were men at some point, but mostly in the beginning, it was women who were sought out and sought after and went through rigorous, like really hardcore, like to seek out and find an oracle, right? And so they had to have specific traits in order to be one. And so when they spoke, they were the ones that gave people the knowledge or the wisdom that they needed to know. And then there were men who translated it through, I believe, what was called no, what was it called? I didn't write it down, but they translated what they were saying through it means 6 feet or 6 beats. It's called oh, it's gonna bother me. Hold on one quick second. Well, anyways, the way they translated when the oracle spoke, right? When this female spoke, they translated this information through a certain type of uh the like a it's a poetic, like a poetic type of
It sounds like they used iambic pentameter or perhaps blank verse to give the oracle's words a rhythmic prophetic weight. Using structured meter or formal rhyme schemes often signals that a character.
that is funny because I wanted to start typing what I needed to know so I can look it up for you right here. And there goes my phone. Thanks, Gemini. So Spirit's like, here, out with it. Okay, it's a hexameter, I believe. Maybe it didn't say that right there. It said a something different type of meter, but it means 6 feet or 6 beats. And so they use through that type of meter, hexameter, or something like that. And so through poetry, I believe poetry is broken down in this specific way. And so all of this, if you dive in and do your own research, it's so funny. You can look that up for yourself. And so thank you, Spirit. Spirit's like, here, hurry up. You're going too slow. Yeah. So bringing it back to the oracle. So the oracle, okay, so from the high priestess, we look at the high priestess, we hold it in high regard when it comes to the tarot, right? But the high priestess in those days was more about, the spiritual aspect of taking care of the church, the ceremonies, the rituals and stuff like that. But the person that spoke, that was considered the voice of God, was the oracle, right? And so in my oracle, these cards, I do have a card that is the muse card, which I find that quite interesting. Yeah, so and so there was a different muse, 9 different muses that were the 9 daughters of Zeus. And just to further break that down for you, hold on. Let me look that up because I did put that down. Okay, so let's break it up for you. The muses are the 9 daughters of Zeus, and it's Miss oh, here we go with the names. Messemene, and Mnemosyne, Zeus and Mnemosyne. I believe that was Zeus's wife. Okay, so each representing a specific branch of the arts and sciences. So right there, that also grabbed me. And Spirit was like, you're speaking to people that are into the arts and science, whatever way that looks for you, arts and sciences, because that's a broad range of things, right? And so the 9 daughters of Zeus, there was, if I'm chopping the names, I'm sorry. Especially if you know how to pronounce them correctly, I'm very, truly, deeply sorry from the bottom of my heart. But really, I don't, this is crazy. It's all new to me. Cal Calliope, epic poetry. Okay, so that was one daughter for poetry. Cleo was for history. Irado was for love poetry. Euterpe is music. Melpomene, this is the muse that we're talking about, okay, was for tragedy. She was the muse of tragedy. And I found that really interesting, and it stopped me kind of dead in my tracks right there. And I said, wait a minute. When you put inspiration and tragedy, it sounds like what is that? When it's like how could you get inspiration from tragedy? But it's funny because I didn't even look at my own self when I asked that, because a form of tragedy can be your anger, your bitterness, acrimony. That could be a form of your tragedy. So for those of you too that resonate with this whole why I started this channel, Alchemy of Acrimony, right? I'm trying to say her name in that. That's why it sounded like that. Melpomene. She's really big here in this read. So I really encourage you to look her up so anyways, when I was questioning that, I thought, okay, Alchemy of Acrimony. Okay, but that's what this is. Duh, Roxanne, hello. But it didn't, I don't know. I just found that interesting because it's like 2 of the opposite, but form something really powerful, right? And so that would be the alchemy of everything, right? You're transforming something bad into something good. Hello, Roxanne. But yeah, no, I I don't know, but for whatever reason, I overlooked my own personal tragedy. And then I thought, wait a minute, that's me. That's the stuff that, this is the whole point. And then I thought, okay, there's others out there. So whoever is resonating also with that part of my channel, going through a divorce, that's your tragedy. You've went already through this divorce. That's your tragedy. The stuff that you gain and pick up with that could be tragic. There's a lot of loss in that, losing the family structure, the way that we feel, the hardship that our body goes through, the tragic things that our body goes through, right? The depression, the anxiety, the exhaustion, the fatigue, restless nights, no sleeping, being in panic mode, PTSD. That's our form. That could be a tragedy, right? That is a tragedy. And so, yeah. So any of you that I don't know. I also was feeling led to, I guess, inspiration, finding your inspiration, and you can find that tragedy, and maybe it's just a reminder for the Libras. And so I don't know if some of you are going through something personal, like a personal hardship, your own personal tragedy, and that's the cause of the writer's block, the creative block, the project blocking, whatever you need to work on. And so maybe take that and find your muse, find your inspiration. Yes, you could find it through tragedy. You can. And so I highly encourage you to look up into the 9 daughters of Zeus. And so it doesn't stop with her right there. There's 9 of them. So okay, so there was the one for poetry, history, love poetry, and music. Then there's Melpomene for tragedy. Then there's poly, poly, here we go. Polymenia, sacred hymns. I don't know. I chopped that name big time, but when you look it up, you'll see for yourself how to actually correctly pronounce that. Because it's POLY HYMNIA, Palmenia, sacred hymns. Okay, so she was the muse for sacred hymns. And then there's Terfiscore, which was for dance. Terpsichore, I don't know. So she was the muse of dance. And then there's Talia, the muse of comedy. And then Urania, the muse of astronomy, which I found that pretty crazy, because here, seeing the way that's spelled, URANIA, I thought of the planet Uranus, and then she was the muse of astronomy. And so I don't know if any of you out there are astrologers, astrologists, or you're into the stars and the planets, or you're learning or wanting to learn. I don't know. And whatever tragedy, maybe you could turn it into, I don't know, maybe if some of you are looking into, you want to learn more about the stars, become an astrologer, maybe peeking into your birth chart to kind of get to understand yourself a little bit more. Sometimes our curiosity peaks at a certain time in our lives for whatever reason, whether it's through this tragedy. That's how I found my spirituality, through my tragedy also. How I was shifted in a different direction when it came to my beliefs, and just overall everything that was going on with me. And I found a new love and a new passion, and ignited my heart in such a different way when it came to learning more about myself, even through my birth chart. And so whatever I'm saying, if any of this resonates with you, take it all how it does. This is all channeled messages, okay? Channeled messages for you guys. Channeled messages coming through for you guys, so you can really get out of that stuck, stagnant energy, okay? So I highly encourage you to look that up. The muses, the 9 daughters of Zeus, and Mnemosyne. I don't know, but just look up 9 daughters of Zeus, muses, and then, look into that and find your specific creative. Maybe it may not be tragedy, maybe it be a different muse for epic poetry, history, love poetry, music, tragedy, sacred hymns, dance, comedy, astronomy. These are all different branches of arts and science, okay? So however you see fit, place that in your life. however you see fit for that one. Okay. And so we also got, let me see. Yeah. Okay. So when I was breaking it down into back in this time, right? Greeks, gods, goddesses, people would travel from really far distances just to gain the wisdom of the oracle, to hear her speak, and for these these guys to say what it is that she's saying, put it out in like poetry form, what the voice of God was saying, to get their answer, right? And so I broke it down. Primary goal of the high priestess was to uphold ritual and temple law, provide divine guidance and foresight. The function of her was ritualistic and administrative, prophetic and visionary, selection often based on noble lineage or actually, you know what? No. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Because this okay. No. Okay, so this is for the oracle. No. Wait a minute. This is showing up different from the way I copied it into when I was looking at it and then the way I sent it to my phone. It's showing up different. So hold on one sec. I know for the high priestess, her goal, it was different, right? The high priestess held a different role, the oracle held a different role, and then there was guys that did the whole hexameter, like translating what the oracle was saying to the people, right? And so I was like, that's pretty crazy, because when you look at the tarot does have a high priestess card in it, right? There is a high priestess card. So let me see. Let's see. It's all over the place. Hold on one quick sec. Let me grab that. Oof. This came out yesterday. Revealing the truth, confession, shedding light. Okay, so maybe, oh, and that's flying out of my hand. Illuminate. Maybe some of you need shedding light on the situation that you're in, and maybe this is the type of light that you're gaining in a good way, because that card came out yesterday. Let's see what else the oracle has to say, because in modern time, which is today's time, this is our oracle, right? We get different oracle decks. Oh, degrading appearances, shame, humiliation. So this came out. And so right here, the her face and the way she looks, if you look up the 9 daughters of Zeus and you look up the one that I'm talking about, Melpomene, the muse of tragedy, she's depicted in history. There is actual, if you look it up, there is a real statue of her that's held in the Vatican Church. And her depiction of her, if you want to know what she looks like, they have a statue of her in real life, okay, at the Vatican Church, and she's always holding a mask, and it's a mask with a frown on it. And she has a club or a sword with her all the time. And she's seen holding the face of the mask in one hand. Ooh, that's crazy, because I brought out my mask. So she's seen holding, right? And and it looks sad, like this picture. And she's holding the mask in one hand and she has her staff in the other underneath her arm. Or sometimes she's also known to hold a sword. It's either that or a sword, I believe. And so if you want, look that up too, and look at how she's holding things. It's pretty crazy. That's crazy. Thank you, Spirit. That's, I think, because I completely forgot about that detail, and I think that's why Spirit's showing me her face, because that's all you're seeing, right? But the mask that she holds is sorrowful. Okay. And so I don't know if any of you are feeling any of these emotions. That's your tragedy. says degrading appearances, shame, humiliation. Whatever you're going through, you can muse that energy and turn it into beautiful, alchemize it, turn it into something beautiful, okay? You don't need to sit in that stuck energy, okay? There is inspiration out there for you, and maybe you can find it through Melpomene. Melpomene. She's the muse of tragedy. There's a muse for everything, right? Even the bad in our lives. Maybe that's also what Spirit is saying. It's funny because this was memories, reminiscing, dwelling, good times, looking back. This was also yesterday at the bottom of the deck before I started my surprise tragic love read. That one came out of nowhere. I don't know. And so I'm seeing the word loss in my mind. I don't know if maybe some of you, you're going through a certain time of season or year, or maybe a date coming up that maybe you're suffering from some type of, maybe there was a loss. If there was, I'm truly deeply sorry. And maybe it's triggering you to be in this energy because there was, oh my God, I feel like I want to cry. Hold on one sec. I don't know if you guys lost somebody. Oh my gosh, that's really sad. But it's literally drawing tears from my eyes, and I'm almost feeling that terrible emotion. So I don't know if a certain anniversary or date or someone's birthday or somebody that has passed on, that's no longer here, maybe it's triggering a lot of memory for you, and it's causing you to be in a very, it's hard for you to get inspired with anything. Maybe that's something for you guys. Oh my goodness, excuse me. I got a very rush of emotion with that. Like a burst of, I don't know if some of you have lost somebody, or, and whoever that looks like for you, that was really important to you. And so, yeah, that's pretty heavy. I could feel the heaviness. My arms and my upper body and my shoulders, it just kind of wants to go limp. I feel that was woo. Somebody here needs a lot of inspiration and a lot of love and a lot of I don't know, whatever Libra I'm talking to, for whoever this is. And so if that resonates with you, take that how it resonates. And and of course may not resonate with everybody, but my heart goes out to you if that's the case. You can find inspiration even through tragedy, okay? Heartbreak, loss. I keep seeing that word, and loss in whatever way that resonates with you, because loss can be a wide variety of things. And you know what? That's, with life, unfortunately, that's part of everyone's journey, and it's sad and it's scary and it's heartbreaking, and it's something that at some point everyone deals with. And those things are really hard to deal with and face. And the truth in that, it makes us become I don't know, it could be very very hard, to get out of a certain type of energy. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm going to be, so whatever this looks like for you, whether it's you're having a hard time because you're thinking about whatever may have been a tragedy for you, or a loss, or a divorce, or whatever your tragedy looks like for you, take this all however it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, that's fine. Then it's just not for you. Then that means this message is for someone else who's meant to hear it, whenever time, space, or place they are meant to hear it. Okay? And so that's I I thought I seen a card that was flipped in the opposite direction. Where is it at? And I just don't want it's going to bother me because I could see it and I need to face it the other direction. There it is. Okay. All right. So whatever this looks like for you, even if it is a project that you're working on, you are into the arts and sciences, right? I don't know what that is, but we'll find out right now. Here, let me, so you guys can see what I'm doing. Oh, look at that. And so, I know with Dia de los Muertos, there is a day we honor the dead. That's what in that culture, in our culture, that's actually festivities that happen for a few days. And so every day we do something different. There's an ofrenda, and we put our passed on loved ones, pictures of them, and we honor them in different ways. And it's like something that happens for several days. And so that's something that's really beautiful, right? Honoring the people that are no longer here, that have passed on into a different lifetime, right? A different life. All right. So here we go. That energy, I'm very sorry. We're going to give you some spirit messages. There's already one that popped out here. Okay, so here we go. Thank you, Spirit. What else do they need to know? What does my collective need to know when it comes to any messages for them? One more go around. Okay. Okay, so this also came out the other day, but I don't feel the need to take that. Hold on one quick sec. Let me grab a card that popped out on the floor. Okay, so we got 3 for you guys, okay? So let's pick, hold on. Let me get it together. Okay, here we go. So we got, if you are noticing changes within you, it's because you're leaving the old version of yourself behind. You are elevating and shedding unnecessary layers. Old cycles are ending and new beginnings are on the horizon. You deserve this new chapter. So whatever new chapter this looks like for you, okay, you can find inspiration in order to start jumping into that new chapter of your life, okay? Find your muse, get your inspiration. Maybe something is closing out, whatever that looks like for you. And so you're being guided and pushed in the direction of starting something new. Whatever is in the old, it's the old, and you're being guided into finding inspiration to start something new, to go towards something new, a new beginning, a new chapter, right? We go through new beginnings all the time in life, and different chapters, new chapters, whatever that looks like for you. Personally, with my divorce, that was huge. That was a tragedy for me, and it sparked a new chapter, a new life, new everything. Shit, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Everything from myself, learning who I am, all over again. And it's crazy because it's like I lost myself, and so having to gain that knowledge of who I truly am, find inspiration in the world again, find my muse. That was hard. I didn't, I didn't find that for quite some time. It was hard for me to find little, to find things and to really, get myself going in the right direction. It was like a lot of stop and go, and my ebbs and flows. I feel the need to say it. It ebbs and flows. There was a lot of it. It was like a roller coaster. There was a lot of, there was some ups and a lot of downs. And I felt more downs than anything because it took me a while to get out of this energy. I actually looked like that person in the picture, didn't want to get up out of bed. And I did talk about this in a prior video. And so for those of you that maybe that's your memory too, that you're holding on to, maybe you are going through a divorce, something similar. Maybe you resonated with my videos. And even my taking it back, I feel led to tell you, if you go back, I have a playlist and I put my first 2 videos on there because those were the very first 2 that I launched this channel with. And the first one, I talk about myself. I explain the reason for the channel, my side of things, my background, who I am. I share that openly and honestly with you guys, okay? And so if you want to go and look into that, if you are a product of, okay, coming out of that divorce, or or you're still in it, or, or life is about to change for you, and, you're splitting from somebody that was quite significant in your life. And so now, that's your tragedy, and you're needing to find some type of inspiration. There is inspiration through tragedy. There's inspiration in many different ways. And, find your muse. There is a muse for different things. And maybe within those different things, that's where you're going to find your inspiration. Maybe through dance, maybe through song, maybe through writing, maybe through, poetry, journaling. I know I write poems. I actually write poems. And, I didn't go to school for it. I don't have correct grammar in my poems. I don't know the first thing about every single type of poem that's out there. I just create from my own tragedy and I pour it out onto, a paper, or whether it's through drawing, or, creating my own poems. And you know what? Just for the heck of it, just so you guys might, and I always create when I'm in this energy and I'm thinking, right? Your memories could sometimes put you in a stagnant, stuck energy, and you don't feel motivated to do anything, especially if you're angry or sad or mad or hurt, whatever that looks like for you. And so, okay, so I'm gonna just take a gamble here, and I'm gonna let my phone scroll, and whatever my finger picks, that's the poem I'm gonna read for you guys. Nope, that's a list. Okay. This was a poem that I had wrote. And so this is what my finger ended up hitting. Okay, and so this was, like I said, I create poems and write and journal, and that's my muse. My inspiration is the anger and the frustration, or whatever that, that I'm feeling at the moment. And so this is what I wrote. This is my poem. This is me sharing a very deep personal part of myself with you all. So if you could, I don't know, hopefully this, here goes nothing, but here we go. Okay, I don't think I like you anymore. It's just fear and anxiety holding me back. False sense of thinking I'll never find anything better. False reality of running out of time in my mind. It's all an illusion, embedded in my brain since my beginning of my time on this earth. At its worst, trauma and ugly bonding, attachments to broken promises and lies of hope, potential versus reality, and reality always wins. Love lessons on repeat, breaking the cycle, recognizing my patterns within. It's not that I really like you, who stays friends for 2 years and with no end in sight, understanding there will never be true love within. We needed other things I could never give him, because breaking the toxicity within myself starts with realizing, if he can't see me for who I am, this is not my problem to fix. It's his battle within. Forcing myself where I never fit, trying to fight my way in. These are all things I need to stop and ask myself, why is it so important for me to win? Okay? That is a piece of me personally, whatever I was going through at that time in my life, because this is, I don't even know when I wrote that. I don't even remember why. It has to do with love. That was my tragedy and my anger at the time. And so, you know, stuff like that. I when I'm, going through things, I alchemize it and I pour it into something else. And so there we go. And let me see. I read you one. Now I got to look back to see what it was that I read. Make sure you. Okay, so this one was talking about new beginnings, right? They're on the horizon. You deserve this new chapter. Okay, and then we have, you need to ignore what everyone else is doing and achieving. Your life's about breaking your own limits and outgrowing yourself to live your best life. You're not in competition with anyone else. Plan to outdo your own past, not other people's. So take that, how that resonates. Ignore what everyone else is doing and achieving. Maybe the stuck, stagnant energy that you're in, not pursuing anything, not moving, just being blocked. You're not pursuing your goals. And maybe you have goals in life that you want to pursue. Maybe these passion projects are things that you don't find love in it anymore. You don't feel that love in it anymore, that passion. It doesn't ignite you anymore, right? The flame within, it doesn't burn so bright anymore. But that passion, or what you love, is something that is that's your gold right there. That's your alchemy. But you're not using it, you know? You're kind of just letting life pass you by while you're seeing other people accomplish their goals or their dreams, or and you're not, it's suppressing you at the same time, but you're focusing too much on those things and not on yourself. To take the initiative to get out there and find that inspiration, to get out there and create for yourself, to outdo your past and yourself, and start that new chapter, find that new beginning. But you can't. You're finding it really, really hard. And it says right here, make sure you don't start seeing yourself through the eyes of those who don't value you. You need to know your worth. And when others don't, you're not what people think of you. You're not what people think of you. So maybe you're listening too much noise, and the noise is the outside world and the meanness that they can bring when it comes to people. And even if you've been criticized for your work, I feel the need to tell you, if you've put in something out there, a project, made something, built something, had a dream or a goal, a vision, and talked about it and shared it, and somebody smacked you down for it and said, oh, like gave you a negative outlook on, you're not going to be able to achieve that, or that's dumb. I never heard of that. That sounds stupid. People talk like that to us. And when we do that, we start to devalue ourselves and what our potential can truly be. And we listen too much to that noise, the chitter chatter of people just, throwing their own personal opinion out there when it doesn't even matter. Like, someone will probably hear this and say that my poem sounded like shit. But you know what? I don't care. I really don't. And I learned to stop caring what other people think a long time ago. And I said this in a past video about people pleasing, and not, that's not what we're here for. We can't please everybody. And my poems, they ain't going to reach everybody. No one's going to get it, for those that just don't get it, and those that don't even like poetry. But who cares? I don't write it for those people. I don't write it for, for anybody else but myself, because that's, what I do. That's my the way I alchemize things for myself. Okay, that's my win. And don't let people take that away from you. Okay, sometimes we have to move in silence, so take that how it resonates. And for me personally, I do that a lot. I move in silence. You don't need to share 100% of what you're going through, even if it's your tragedy, your own personal tragedy, whatever that looks like for you. You don't have to share it with people 100% of the time. You don't have to share the moves that you're making either with people 100% of the time. What you're doing, you don't need to let everybody know. Nobody needs to know that either. Whatever you're creating, whatever you're working on, whatever that looks like for you, especially if you've already been told something negative, you don't need to place any type of your worth in someone else's personal opinion of you, what they think you are, or how they think your work is, or your project, or whatever it is you're creating. They don't have to believe in it. It's not for them to believe in, it's for you to believe in it and build it. Okay, on your own personal beliefs and your own love for it, and whatever you're trying to present to the world. You don't need other people's validation. Okay, so find that passion, bring that inspiration, find your muse. Okay, find it, because it's out there. And for those of you that suffered any type of a loss, and so right now in life you're feeling stuck, like there is no more. We can feel like that, definitely, especially with a loss. Maybe with that, you're having to, there's going to have to be a new beginning that's going to have to start in your life. But you're being divinely guided to hear this message, because maybe that's the steps that you need to start taking, because there's going to be a beautiful outcome for you in that. Okay. And so we're also going to, okay, so I also feel led to tell you, when the clown card came out, and besides the fact that, I was talking about how Zeus's daughter, she's depicted, right, holding her mask. And I was, because of what this card is, I was looking at the imagery, but also talking about taking it back to, losing your inspiration because of what other people think. Maybe you felt some of these degrading appearances, shame, humiliation. People are making you feel like that for whatever you're trying to create, or whatever you do, if it's your art, if it's your vision, or maybe you've gotten out there and presented something, and people, received it in a negative light, and therefore made you feel any type of that way. Like I said, people could be really mean, really mean. And that's not our problem. And it's not for us to fix about people like that. We just got to keep moving on, keep on keeping on. It's unfortunate and it's sad that the world, works like that, in dysfunction, with dysfunctional people like that. But we have to know that sometimes the greatest things can come out of things that people have once downed so much, and put down, and criticized, and humiliated, and talk shit about. Maybe a lot of times there are great things. And a lot of people hate. And I'm going to tell you that straight up. There's a lot of fucking haters out there that will hate on the things that you do, especially if you are creating something. And it's just hate because of their own personal, they don't value themselves. And so they project that anger onto everybody else. And so when they see someone else doing something, they have the first negative thing to run to you and say, it's all hate, because they're fucking hating. Let the haters hate. Let them sit in their corner and talk crap, and, down you all day, and, try to make you feel a certain way. They're the ones with the problem. And there's always going to be haters. But you know what? Those haters are your biggest fan. Biggest fan. Why are they paying so much attention to you if they're hating so much, right? Haters are going to hate, and let them hate. They're your biggest fan. Remember that. Let them be your biggest fan. Let them be your launching pad to create something great. Let them haters be your muse. Boom, there it is. Let them haters be your muse. Get inspiration from their fucking tragedy. The fact that they're so tragically sick in their heads that they have to be haters, right? There it is, you guys. There it is. Find your inspiration. It's out there. Create. Start a new chapter. Begin a new life. Present, your passion or what you love to the world, and don't feel any type of way about it, because what matters is what you think. Okay? That's what matters. That's all that matters. What you think. I split the deck to this. Don't live the stories of others. Write your own creativity, adventure. Find your genius. That's for you guys. Boom. First card out. There it is. All right. Okay. What's planted in your soul will sprout. Plant seeds, dedication, your work is rewarded. Keep on going. Keep on keeping on. Start working towards looking for your inspiration, for your creating those life goals for yourself, right? Hold on. Let me, this is all facing, yes, the right direction. What other inspiring messages do we have for collective out there, for whoever needs to hear this message? What inspiring messages do you have for them? Any more inspiring messages? That one, jumper big time. Set your life on fire and seek those who fan your flames. Kindred spirits, passion, follow your heart. Boom, there it is. Another inspirational message for you guys, all right? Let these cards be your muse. Hold on, guys. I got some flyers. We got jumpers and flyers. They went woo and flew off the table. Okay, here we go. Where there is ruin, there is hope for a treasure. Rough time, good outcome. Everything will work out okay. That also is for you guys. Why be unhappy when your soul is in full bloom? Health, spiritual growth, choosing happiness. Choose happiness. There is hope. Everything will work out okay. Your soul will sprout and you'll be rewarded. Plant your seeds. Set your life on fire. Seek those who fan your flames. Passion. Follow your heart. Find your genius. Don't live the stories of others. Creativity, adventure. Find your genius. Find your muse. Find your inspiration. There you're going to find your genius. There is hope for you. That's the whole point of this message. Spirit is saying, when you find this, when you seek this out and you take hold of it, there's going to be, it's going to be all good for you guys. You guys are going to come out of this, okay? And so, yeah, that's crazy, because right here in, where is it? Where there is ruin, there is hope for a treasure. So when I was jumping this message off, I jumped right into the tarot, right? I put my tarot in a treasure box. That's the first thing I seen in my mind's eye when I seen that it said treasure. I thought of my box right here, but that's where your messages came out of, and that's what I was channeling, the stagnant, for you guys when I was seeking your read. What does my Libra need to know? And that was part of my channeled messages, right? Stagnant. And that's how it all kicked off in the read. This came out of my treasure box. But with that, you're going to find hope. You're going to find your passion, your purpose. You're going to find, your story, your new beginning, your new story. All these beautiful things are going to come out. There is hope. Okay, so whatever your tragedy looks like, whatever life that you're going through, whatever it is, this was a message of, okay, kind of whatever you need to start building in, or, maybe for those of you that are working on something and you have that writer's block or lost that passion for your project in whatever art or science, uh, because the 9 daughters of Zeus they're all muses for arts and sciences, right? So whatever it is, wherever your passion lies at and your projects are, maybe some of you felt, you were getting down by people, you know, and so taking the weight of the world and what other negative things and aspects come at you that can make you lose your inspiration, right? And so it'll cause you to like not want to, move forward in your projects or do the things that you love, or you start second guessing yourself. Am I good at this? Is it not good? Should I believe what that person's telling me? And then you start questioning your talents and and those passions that you have were given to you as a gift for, that's your own personal, what you love. Don't let people take what you love away. you know those are the things that when we go through these tragedies, what we hold on to and we find our alchemy in, you know transforming that pain and alchemizing it into those passions that we pick and choose for ourselves that we love. And people love different things. We all love different things. We have a passion for different things. So whatever that looks like for you. So I encourage you to read about that story, the 9 daughters of Zeus, and look into that. And feel, if any of this resonated with you, feel free to drop a or a comment, like anything that you feel led to do, just so that I know that you picked this message up, because this was a pretty cool message. This was somebody really needed to hear this, and it makes me excited to get these messages out, because they're messages of inspiration, hope. These are things that we need, especially in a time in our world like this. We're going through a lot of shit. And for those of you that know, America in general, we're just going through a lot of things right now. There's a lot of, you know, negativity out there. There's a lot of sadness. There's a lot of tragedy. There's a lot of unfortunate things happening. But we got to find, in this day and age, in this time, our inspiration in these things and get back to doing the things that we love, Keep moving on, keeping on. That was the Libra reading. Crazy. I didn't even know I was going to do a Libra reading. I'm looking at my dice over here. We're going to pull out numbers, and then if this resonates with you, however I call it. Sometimes I see days, months, even even days, like the third day, because I said that the other day and I was like, why did I even say that? And then I was like, is that Tuesday? So however these come out in my brain when I see it as they're coming out, however I call it, if any of it resonates for you, 25, maybe some of you are born on the 25th, because I seen that autumn number 7, 2 and 5, 2025. I don't know, I seen 2025, the year 2025, or 25, February 25th, January 25th. I don't know. Whoever I'm calling it out, if it's just more confirmation. I'm seeing the 18th, or maybe some of you 81. It reduces to a 9. September, August. 55. Look at the number 5, 555, and 55. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah. See what that means. And then we got 31. Maybe you're born on the 31st. We just passed. Wasn't 31st just like a couple days ago? March 31st. Then we got 3. That also could be for March 1st. 31, or the number 4. April, Taurus babies. 61. Also, it reduces to a 7. June 1st. this 2016 or the number 16. And then 41, which also reduces to a 5. So look up the number 555. Spiritual meaning of 555. That's came out 3 times. The 5, 5, and then 5 again. And the number 11. 9 and 2 reduces to an 11. September 2nd. Or 1992. So yeah, I guess seeing the year, that was different, but I felt the need to see that. All right, I think I'm gonna close out with the Midnight Oracle deck for you guys. We're gonna pull one card and we're gonna close this out. Here we go for my Libras. All right, what else does my Libras need to know right off the bat? Oof, I love the imagery on this. What is that? Number 10? Number 10 is about completion, I believe. New beginnings. Let's look up what number 10 is. What is the spiritual meaning of the number 10?
The number 10 represents wholeness and completion, marking the end of one cycle and the beginning of a higher one. It merges the individuality of one with the infinite potential of zero, signaling a time of manifestation and
leadership. The number 10 represents wholeness and completion, marking the end of one cycle and the beginning of a higher one. Hold on one sec, because this is all resonating, okay? Right here. It's in this card. If you're noticing changes within you, it's because you're leaving the old version of yourself behind. You're elevating and shedding unnecessary layers. Old cycles are ending and new beginnings are on the horizon. You deserve this new chapter. And the number 10, it's marking the end of one cycle and the beginning of a higher one. It merges the individuality of one with the infinite potential of zero, signaling a time of manifestation and leadership. It's a time to start manifesting, maybe using your muse or inspiration through that. Your manifestations, you're gonna gain momentum in that. Whatever it is you're masking. Oh yeah, why did I say that? Whatever it is you're masking. I was looking at this card. Whatever it is you're masking, I don't know. Take that how it resonates. Of truth. But looking at the card, I seen this, because you know how you go to a masquerade ball and they wear those where they're covering their eyes. They have different types of, the mask of truth, whatever you're masking. And I said, whatever you're masking. Okay, we need to dive into that. What is that? The mask of truth, number 10. Okay. So when this originally came out, it came out in the reverse, but I was showing it to you in the upright. In the reverse, it means clinging to illusions can lead to self-deception. Remove the mask before it becomes a prison. And then what truths are you, this is the reflection part, what truths are you avoiding and how can embracing them set you free? Maybe your truth that you're avoiding is that whatever you love to do or wherever your inspiration lies at, you're listening to everybody else's false sense of what they, like a false sense of identity because of other people saying negative things. And so you're avoiding your own truth because you're not listening to yourself. You're listening to the negativity of others and what they think their truth of you is. So whatever project, whatever passion, whatever you love, whatever, you're masking. You're not really presenting yourself, your true self. Remove the mask before it becomes a prison, because you're avoiding these things that you love to do or create or make for yourself, you're kind of like suppressing a part of yourself because of other people's negativity. And some people have tendency to do that, where they walk around and they wear a mask and they're not really revealing who they really are to the world, because the world's filled with so much. They make you feel shameful for a certain way that you portray yourself or, present yourself, whether it's through the way you dress, whatever it is that you're creating, your art, your music, your writing. It's time to take off the mask. Don't stay locked up in that prison. Don't let the mask make you up. Stay in that prison. You're masking. I brought out the mask for a reason. Yee. Thank you, Spirit. That's just all signs and synchronicities, guys. Signs and synchronicities. All right. Time for inspiration, manifestation, leadership. Be a leader, a pioneer in your own, what it is that you love. Get out there and present it. Don't mask. Don't hide who you truly are. Okay? Do not do that. Don't listen to the naysayers. Is that what they say? Don't listen to the naysayers. The mask of truth. Number 10, completion, new beginnings. All right, thank you, Spirit. That's beautiful. That was a beautiful message, and somebody really needed to hear that. So whoever it resonated for, I mean, that's awesome. That's something everybody could kind of take away from. That could be a general message for more than just my Libras. This could be for all astrological signs. Okay. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. This was a really good read, and I hope any of you found something in this that could help you in any type of way, shape, or form. And I hope this finds you whenever, space, place, time, space, space. You know what? Whatever. I'm tired of being too clever on it. My brain's like, no, but whenever this finds you, I believe that Spirit guided you to find it when it does find you. I'm a big believer on that. And I hope any of these that, popped out, whatever I said, I never know what's going to come out in these reads, but however, whatever came out and whatever resonated with you, or whatever you could take, with this read, whatever little treasure you could find in it. And, it really hits home for you and it hits hard. Hopefully it helped you to, leave an emoji or a thumbs up. Go ahead and hit the like button, if you, feel led to, and you like this video. Share if you feel the need to share it with somebody that maybe needs to hear this message, especially this message, a push to find their inspiration, right? So, yeah. And I hope that you guys like the special guests. And there was a reason, I guess, that I brought them out, especially this one. Okay, especially that one. And I encourage you to look into the muses, the Zeus's 9 daughters, and they were 9 muses, right? Each for different things of arts and sciences. And so look into that. That was pretty cool. That was something new that I had learned. And yeah, like I said, Spirit gave me all these downloads, and these were channeled messages. And so I got to go in and change the title of this read to the Libra reading, so everybody knows, because that was a big switch up. Spirit was like, nope, you're talking about the stagnation, the blockages, and finding inspiration and muse and all that now. You're going to talk about it now. You're not going to talk about it when you think you're going to talk about it. You're going to do it right now. Yeah. So Spirit was like, oh yeah. So yeah, I love that when that happens though. So thank you so much for joining me yet again. Thank you. Like I said, I'm always going to thank you guys. And so yeah, subscribe, hit that subscription button if you like the reads and my content. And like I said, if you hit that subscription button and you subscribe, you can hit the notification bell. And like I told you before, I always go on live. It's very rare. I don't think I've ever uploaded a video besides the videos for the little trailers that I make for you guys. And so if you do that and hit the notification bell, you can get notified when I do go on live. So you can catch this happening in real time, because when Spirit speaks, and you're going to be catching all that crazy stuff, right? And and so go ahead and, if you feel that too, like, share, subscribe, comment, thumbs up. And so I'll see you all again in another read. After Libra, we have, I believe it's Scorpio, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpios, water energy. Oof. In my mind's eye, I got emotional, very emotional, intuition. So my water sign of Scorpio is coming up next. And so I guess I'm going to have to dive into channel messages with Spirit for my Scorpio babies, right? For my Scorpio sign, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. But also I do believe that even if you don't have any of that in your chart, whenever I make a video, it's always meant to find the person it's meant to find, regardless of whatever sign. Energy is just energy, and Spirit's messages are Spirit's messages for whoever needs to hear it at whatever time, space, or place, right? That's all right. So thank you yet again, and they thank you for being here as well. So I'll see you guys next time. And I don't know, look at the thumbnail. I might keep it up there, and that's like a little glimpse, a little peek of part of my facial features. I was like, I'm going to pop out just a little bit today. All right. So thank you so much. Like I said, I'm going to go in and change the title to Libra reading. So thank you all for joining me yet again, and I will see you next time.